We're recording. Go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Royalty Radio. I'm Don Juan. With me, as always, we have Aaron Legend. I'm going to do this out of order. Sorry. Mr. Spud.
Hi.
And Vol.
Yo.
And on today's gaming segment, we will be discussing personally what game or game franchise we would like to see, make a remaster, a remake, a reboot, just come back better and better looking than before.
Breathe some new life into some old classics.
Some very good old classics.
Yes, and there were so many. It was hard to just land on one.
I know for me and you, it definitely was.
Since
No offense to y'all, but with our gaming experience that goes back 30 years,
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, me and Don aren't that old. We can't relate
it's okay.
that to many games.
Young guys group right here. Right here. Up top. Yes. Awesome. Don? In the air. Yeah.
Why are we going young guys group?
And anyway, moving on.
It's okay,
anyway,
sir. We'll get you where you need to be.
I'm super distraught about not being a part of Anime Royalty Radio's first season, where everybody got a 3-way tie for first place and then a 6-way tie for second. So I literally had to land on one, and it took me a minute.
Listen. We did that because, no lie, it was really hard for me, and I needed to do better.
You've grown a lot since then.
This man was like, you cannot have a 4-way fucking tie for first anymore. We're so fucking tired of it.
What do you mean? What's wrong with 2-hour episodes?
I wasn't that adamant, was I?
You were pretty adamant about it.
All right, well, let's kick this off. So for me, it's it's going back to PlayStation's early years. I got to say the Sly Cooper franchise because it was
PlayStation 2.
Well, I said PlayStation in general.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But yes, PlayStation 2. And it goes back, with, Sony or PlayStation's, flagship gamings back in the day. We're talking about the old Spyro, the old Ratchet and Clank.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Jack and Daxter.
Jack and Daxter.
Jack and Daxter, yeah. And Sly Cooper. I mean, a lot of them were, all these anthropomorphic, characters or animals or whatever that just beat the crap out of things or shot things.
Damn furries.
It's actually really cool that you brought that up, because I can't believe after putting so much time in Ghost of Tsushima that I didn't recognize it at first. But as the trophy for you to dress up as Sly Cooper,
see, I don't even know that was
the sword camo is called Sly Tanaki, which is like
you mean
a
Tanuki?
rodent. Yes.
Yes,
the rodent, yeah.
Yeah, the raccoon dog, basically, yes.
Right, so that was kind of cool, because, we did find out that Sly Cooper was made by Sucker Punch, who was in fact the studio that gave us Ghost of Tsushima last year, that they still put Sly Cooper nods in their games, even one as new as Ghost of Tsushima.
Even before that, if you guys remember back when Sucker Punch did infamous Second Son, you could find little tidbits of Sly Cooper on posters around like playgrounds and stuff. So they're, in a way, still keeping the franchise alive, but just, as Easter eggs. So
if we can get little bites and nibbles, why can't we get the full course? Like, why can't we get a remastered Sly Cooper?
Look, if we can get a remastered, Spyro Reignited trilogy, or the insane remastered trilogy of Crash Bandicoot, and a new Crash game.
Crash 4. It's about time, launched last year. So
October of last year.
And even two current, I don't know about the second game, but two current Ratchet and Clank games.
And if I'm not mistaken, there is a new one coming out for the next gen.
Yes, it's coming out this year.
That would be the second one, yes. And honestly, me and Vol were talking about this. Jack and Daxter would probably be next, due for a remaster bring back into the system.
Yeah, that's one I didn't like Jack and Daxter as much, because it was super platformy. Like it was just like you just ran around with your little marsupial companion and collected stuff. Jack 2, however, flipped the script. You got guns, you were at war, you could turn into this, I guess, Jack's version of a werewolf. And then Jack 3 was really cool because that introduced cars and racing and customizing your vehicles and all kinds of good stuff. And it just kept building, and then it just disappeared. It did come out with a racing game. They went full racing. They did come out with the Jack Racing. I remember that. And then after that,
it just died.
Poof, gone.
Now,
No better.
and I have my notes here.
Oh
I
my
have
God,
bad
those
the
notes.
notes.
And I have bad eyesight, so I have to look at it really close. Give me a second. Yes, I know this looks bad. But look, Sly 1, The Thievius Raccoonus came out in 2002. Sly 2, Band of Thieves came out in 2004. A year after that was, the third installment, and I have it abbreviated, so I don't even remember what it was. Yeah. And then in 2010, they had the collection of, the first 3 games for the PlayStation 3. And then they had the 4th installment, Thieves in Time, in 2013. And I want to say like maybe 5 or 4 years back, there was supposed to be a movie, but it got canceled. And and I'm kind of glad too, because they made Murray look ugly. Like they made him really like bigger than what he normally was. I mean,
was it as bad as the original Sonic the Hedgehog?
I mean, actually, probably yeah.
Is that what we're comparing it to?
Slide looked good, but Murray just looked like instead of a big, I want to say, fluffy, pink hippo, he just looked like a creepy, distorted dinosaur. It was really gross. So, I mean, honestly, if that movie did come out, we would probably be like doing the same thing we did with Sonic the Hedgehog, just pressuring and bullying them to fix Murray.
or if it launches and it's horrible, like Doom, it just makes them put out 2 good games.
Well, the first Doom movie was okay. The second one was complete trash. I don't know if you guys have seen the second.
I have seen the second one, yeah, with the girl in the lead role.
Yeah,
right?
and they only ever showed, I think, like
she actually gets to go to hell.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah,
we see all the imps, and honestly, we only ever see like one demon in the entire like movie until like the very end, and I think that was just crap.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, definitely Sly Cooper. I mean, you can still play the original games on PlayStation now, or if you have the original copies on the PS2 or the collection on the PS3. But I would definitely like to see those games revamped, at least visually, and just come to either PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5.
Well, I feel like with the right now, Sucker Punch is probably just riding the wave of success from Ghost of Tsushima. So what else do they really have to do? Just make it happen.
They can make a new Infamous too.
Come on.
Give me.
All you naysayers out there, come on.
Give me.
I'm not going next.
What? Well, what about you, Mr. Aaron Legend? What would you like to see remade?
Republic Commandos.
Did he call it?
Did we call it? Did we call it?
Well, now I'm changing it.
I knew it!
No, everybody's been asking for this game for years. And every time they get close to making a new one or a sequel or literally anything, it just disappears.
Hey, that sounds familiar with another game that I'm going to reference.
Yeah. How many petitions have been signed for that one? Yeah. Wait a minute. You never said the name.
Oh, yeah. From the bowels of February 28th, 2015, Star Wars Republic Commando for the original Xbox.
Would you get 2015? Because that's not where it originally
2005.
Oh, I was about to say, that looks horrible for a 2015 game.
They did the enhanced thing for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
But yeah, originally released in 2005. The story was great. It was basically a Star Wars themed version of Ghost Recon.
Who owes me money?
It was a little bit more gritty. It was...
Well, we all knew he was going to say it, so nobody took the bet.
Damn it.
It is his favorite game of all time.
It's up there.
But Spider-Man, close second?
Very close second.
Really?
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic isn't the first?
It was good, but a little too RPG-ish to be at the top.
Fair enough.
I was literally like 2 seconds away.
That wouldn't be a bad one to remaster either. But staying on topic with Republic Commando, it was more a Star Wars themed version of Ghost Recon. It was bright and shiny for the commandos, and then all the enemies were
annoying,
rough, gritty. It really embodied the you're no longer a Jedi or anything where you have all the power. No, you were on a battlefield where you're in the SHIT. You're in it. Like you're
a soldier.
Yeah. And you were not even a superpowered soldier. You're just a regular soldier.
What?
All the droids, they have the advantage. They don't have to worry about feelings.
But even clones had augmentations.
Well, yeah, but
they're not in that game.
The commandos were just better trained. They were on par with regular clones, but they were just better trained. The real story was behind the way that you and your squad interact with each other. you knew how Star Wars went. And being the Commandos meant you just got to see a small different side that other people didn't get to see. Whether it be going to the cruiser that had no life left on it because it was attacked by raiders. I mean, everybody knew about it, and it was called the zombie cruiser, but there were no zombies there. It was just everybody was dead. Or tracking down Grievous and trying to catch him before his bomber took off to go to meet up on episode 3 where Obi-Wan fought him.
Hello there.
Hello there. Just small bits of the story, or the background scenes from the Battle of Geonosis, where there was like a 2-second clip where you see Mace Windu talking to a Republic commando. That was you. But you only get to see it for 2 seconds in the movie, and then nobody ever sees a commando ever again for the rest of the movies. There was a really big story about these really high-trained individuals that nobody got to see, and this game really referenced it, and people fell in love with it because
I feel like they were the Navy SEALs of the
they really were.
The Republic.
They really were, and
No, I agree. The lore behind the clone commandos is incredible. Like the fact that they are just like any other clone, bred from pods, but they're bred in pods of 4 to have that, that bond as brothers in their own squad.
right. And it's not just like any old war game where, oh yeah, you have this sense of honor where you want to complete the game because, for your country. It's not only just for your country, it's Star Wars themed. You have that sense of, I want to do this for the Republic along with your comrades. And when the game finished, it left people with a lot of questions like, okay, where is this going to go from here? And the only response they were given was the Game Boy Advance game. A little side scroller. And it was complete trash. The studios that were working on the sequels under new ownership, they're like, oh, well, everything you've been working on, that's a no. The story's established. Everybody knows what happened afterwards. It's just they want a playable game. But every time it comes up and a new studio starts to work on it, or somebody pitches the next idea, nope, scrap it, we're under a new management. They don't want to use any of the old stuff we were working on, start over.
That does sound really familiar.
Yeah. But that game definitely deserves a sequel, remake, something.
To breathe life into it.
Mm-hmm. Because I guarantee if it comes out, it will not only sell out, but people will demand a sequel within a month.
Maybe.
I love the clones.
Yes, we know.
I bet you do.
Mm.
He does.
Wasn't one of the clones in Republic Commando named Sev?
Yep.
I haven't
707.
played the original one since it came out, and I still remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how well it can stick with you.
Yeah, Sev was the one that went missing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And that's where they were going to look at doing the second game. They had 2 options that they were going to pitch. One, you would be Delta Squad working for the Empire, which there was a lot of missions where Delta Squad, without Sev, did a lot of secret missions. The assault on Camino, the droid factory, like we talked about, taking out key people in the Outer Rim that were going against the Empire. And then there was a second storyline where Sev would be picked up by the Rebellion, and he would work with the Rebellion to fight off the Empire because his chip was never really useful because he was never around any Jedi.
Well, didn't the same thing happen with Captain Rex? Like, he kind of fought against... He never really fell in with the...
He did for about 5 minutes, and then Ahsoka saved him.
Oh,
it was
okay.
the end of Clone Wars Season 7.
Okay, awesome.
It was pretty good. You should watch it.
I shall.
Because it literally interlaps with Episode 3.
Okay.
Like, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka meet up at the beginning of the season.
We got him started on Star Wars. He won't stop.
Yeah, I won't.
Pass the torch there, buddy.
And then they kind of both split up.
I'm actually liking
no,
it. He's doing stuff.
Dude.
We're talking about games.
Star Wars.
Star Wars is games, okay?
Okay, so there was this galaxy.
Oh
my God.
Do I have to get Shadows of the Empire out again?
Please.
God. I think you've made your point, sir.
Yes, do it.
Republic Commandos.
Do it.
Good.
Which in the group text earlier when I brought up this, I literally said, "How much you want to bet?" He's gonna say, Republic
Pass the
Commando.
mic.
Do it.
I did. It's somebody else.
I have a platform in which to speak, and people need to hear it.
Get off
Will
your,
Bring it
you
back.
fucking just pass the mic on to
get off
somebody
your
else?
soapbox.
Who am I giving it to?
Whoever you want.
Who wants a new commando? Okay, Josh.
Yeah.
Vol, would you like to?
I would play the New Republic Commando if it had 4-player co-op and you could do the missions together.
Oh, yes.
So, like I said in the opening, it was very hard for me to land on one game because as soon as he sent the group text, I initially fired off with the game that he's gonna pick, and he was like, "That was mine." I could literally see him doing that through the phone.
No, I didn't do that. I just went.
He was like,
We just felt the poutiness from the message.
I didn't pout. I was just like, fuck. Now I gotta think of something else because I had this perfect. I was like, yes.
Well, I had so many, but I landed on one, and this game, I feel like it deserves a remake. Not only, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the RP. It was a good turn-based RPG. It was very gothic, and it, unfortunately for this game, it came out in 2001, and it had the misfortune of launching alongside Final Fantasy X and Devil May Cry 1, which were both huge titles.
Talk about the competition.
Completely
on release day.
overshadowed. Almost, this game came out, it was almost invisible.
You mean it lost out to the ha 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 ha? You know what
You
I'm talking-
can't do it,
Jared
kid.
Leto Joker?
No, it's a scene from Final Fantasy
It's
X.
Titus's laugh.
Titus's laugh when he's like, "You just gotta laugh it off." Ha 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 ha.
So bad. Anyway, the game that I chose is Shadow Hearts, and it is an old RPG from 2001, so it is now 20 years old.
Yeah, it really
which
is.
is crazy to say. Where you played as the protagonist, Yuri Hyuga, and the game starts and you're on board this train, and this young girl named Alice Elliott is being escorted when she is attacked by this rather dapper fellow in his really nice suit and top hat, and named Roger Bacon.
His name is so stupid.
Roger Bacon
Wow.
just shows up and obliterates her guards, but with Yuri's help, she's able to escape. And there's just so much going on, and it draws so much inspiration from like HP that Lovecraftian horror, and a lot from the Devilman manga.
Yep,
And it's
dark.
yeah, it's really dark, but it just sucks you in. And even like when Yuri travels to the graveyard to learn because part of the combat is that he can transform into monsters, and these monsters are typically related to elements. You'll have like a darkness, fire, wind. I remember, I think the final, and they each had forms, and like the final form of darkness was like Chernobog, and you like an actual demon, and you have to fight them in the graveyard by yourself. Your allies can't assist you, and you have to beat them in combat to unlock that form to turn into in battle. And it was just really, really cool. But you had your I think there were 6 party members that you could use to fill out your 3-man squad, and you attacked with a judgment ring. And it was really cool because this ring would appear and it would have highlighted areas, and as the wheel went around, you'd have to hit it in the ring for your, kind of similar to
What we're going to be
The
talking
next
about.
one.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad that because it was, I'm not saying the Devil May Cry isn't a good series, even though I've never played any of them.
You've never played any of them?
I haven't played a single Devil May Cry, and I don't
neither.
feel like I'm missing anything.
No, you really are. They're great games.
I don't feel like I'm missing anything at all.
We're cutting them off.
Yeah, we
I
got.
don't feel like I didn't miss nothing.
Listen, this
This
is one thing
On to
me
Final
and
Fantasy
the Don can agree on,
Surprisingly.
and that is our love for Dante.
that Virgil is not as good as Sephiroth. Okay, moving on.
That's
to
the reason
Final-
why Sephiroth won that death battle.
right?
Sephiroth's
That's all I
broken,
needed
though.
to know.
He is broken.
Virgil lost his. Dante lost his death battle. They all
No,
lost their
Dante.
death battles.
No,
They-
Dante won his against Bayonetta.
Oh, blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So, and of course, Final Fantasy X, there's no way I'm going to knock that game. I had so much time invested in that game just in Blitzball.
Oh,
So-
God, to get the damn last sigil.
Right. So, for Shadow Hearts to launch alongside these two these two AAA titles, it was just destined to be invisible. But most of the reviews for it were positive.
They really were.
And I just feel like with it being, I mean, I'd have to look and see if Midway Games is still around. I'm sure they've been bought or by someone.
Midway makes Mortal Kombat.
Well,
Or
No,
used
no.
to.
used
Now it's
to.
NetherRealm
NetherRealm Studios.
Right,
now.
right.
So maybe now this game is 20 years old, it could be revived, because you had Shadow Hearts and then you had the sequel
And then you had a third
and
one.
you had a third game. It did get 3. Now I played the second one. I did not play the third sequel. I wasn't even aware of it until I looked up more information on the original. But I don't feel like the second one was as good as the first, but I played the hell out of the first one, and I would love to see a remake on the PS5 or Xbox Series X, either or, as long as we could make it happen.
Well, the good news is it's not, somewhat tied to a certain console.
Speaking of ties, I had a tie for first place. My other game.
Oh my God! No!
Game is Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill. I want to see the original Silent Hill remastered
Wait a
the way
minute now.
they're doing Resident Evil 2 and 3.
Wait a minute now. You know about this because apparently they're trying to still remake. One, they're going to do a remake of Metal Gear Solid, and they're thinking about doing Silent Hill too.
It's kind of like Republic Commandos, though. It's just like, it's there
It's always out of
until
reach.
somebody asks about it. They're like,
Yeah,
hey, where's that at? And they're like, huh? Oh.
It's out there in the ether.
I mean, the fans are literally freaking out every time the smallest thing happens. What's his face that was doing the musical score for
Oh God, he's back on it. We got to get him off of
for
it.
Mandalorian season 2? Somebody that did the musical score in Republic Commando was working on the Mandalorian. They're like, oh, they're bringing out a new game. No, I'm just working on the musical score for season 2. But he was thinking about making a new game. Just every little chance you can get, it's just right out of reach.
Okay,
All right, bring us home, Spud.
I will because this has a big following.
Yes,
I mean,
it
it's not
does.
as big as it used to be. This was a huge following.
This
And-
was my third way tie for first place.
See, me, and we'll get our Twitch friend Cryptic Chalk will also agree with us on this.
Yeah.
But mine was blessed on this earth in 1999, late 1999, to the PS1, one of the last RPG games to come out for the PS1 besides Final Fantasy IX.
Which I feel like is a lot of what hurt not just this one, but both
Both
of
of
those
them.
games. Yes.
Yep. And that is Legends of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon.
That game. Oh.
So good.
It's so good on multiple levels.
Oh, yeah.
The combat in it, yes, it is turn-based, but you had an addition style where if you had whichever character, every character out of Dart, Levitz / Albert, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sad scene.
Yeah. Not ready to talk about it.
No, not ready. Kongal, Rose, and
Ashel,
yep.
Shauna.
But
yeah.
no, those two, Shauna / Miranda, did
Didn't have
not
an
get an
addition,
addition. But what it is,
Ashel and Meryl did.
yep, and Meryl. I forgot about Meryl. They actually had a combat system where if you went in for a first time strike, you could hit the X button at a certain time and it would continue the combo. They called it addition.
Gust of wind
Dance. Yep.
Volcano.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Burning Slash.
It
was
classic,
classic. It was beautiful. The story was actually really in depth. You got this guy who was just trying to kill this monster that basically burnt down his home.
The black monster,
monster,
yeah.
which actually led into him saving his worthless love of his life. Sorry, Shayna, but you are. And stumbling into a civil war that actually spawns out from a war that went on decades ago, to where they actually find out that they have what's called Dragoon spirits, which is the spirit of a dragon that allows you to change into a Dragoon or a dragon knight.
Which you could use in combat to unlock even more powerful attacks and magic spells.
attacks.
Yes.
And this is probably what made it for me. Every single Dragoon had its own dragon.
Yeah.
So if you leveled up Dart's Fire to level 5, You got his own dragon. It was not the same as anybody else's.
Yeah.
Everybody had something different. Rose with her black dragon,
dark
Michael.
dragon. Yep.
Congal with his earth. Albert with his wind.
Haschel with the lightning.
Lightning.
Meryl with the water.
Yep.
Yep.
And the 2 white dragons. And even the 2 white dragons that shared the right dragoon spirit with Shauna and Miranda, they were 2 different dragons.
Yeah.
Each time they were 2 different dragons. What?
Nothing. No.
Y'all are... But it came out, and it actually did really well.
Have these 2 even played it?
No, they don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't get Social Security.
Ouch, that would hurt me.
Oh! Might stand like this from now on.
But as much as you love talking about the core cast of characters, those aren't your favorite
What do you mean?
in the game. Those aren't that's not Dart and Lavitz and all them. Those aren't your favorite characters.
What, you talking about Lloyd?
That's what I'm talking about.
Lloyd's not my favorite.
You love Lloyd. Don't lie.
I love Lloyd as a bad guy,
Uh-huh.
but he was not my favorite character.
Well, who was?
Albert.
The prince?
The king, sir?
The prince?
The king.
The nobody that they brought
Oh,
in to
no,
replace
no,
that
no, no.
legend, Lavitz?
Listen.
No.
He is a king.
No. He is a joke.
No.
They were like, "Oh, we're gonna destroy this awesome man. Your whole first disc is nothing but camaraderie and
Oh
brotherhood."
my God, is it ever when they save
They're
each
just
other?
like, they're like, "Yeah, man, yeah, cool, all right, let's get out of here."
We're going to be
Shauna's
friends
like,
forever.
"What, guys?"
And they just leave her ass behind.
Is this like a European soap opera from the 80s? 'Cause that's
No,
what
no,
it
no.
sounds
Like literally. So when Dart comes back to his what he thinks is his his new home village of Sales is being burned down, and what you come to find out is Shauna is the Moonchild, and Lloyd and people pulling the strings behind the curtain.
Did you say Moonchild?
The child of
Is
the
this,
moon.
is this
yes.
like
That's what she's called.
Is this like Princess Yue from Avatar?
No,
She could probably beat Princess Yue from Avatar.
yeah, I would have to.
I
Agree.
mean, Princess Yue from Avatar is the moon, so
Yeah.
She could probably destroy it.
yeah.
No problem. She has a dragon.
She's the moon.
So, continuing on, she is basically the Moonchild, and the way that the legend goes, to stop basically the apocalypse, basically, one of your members is supposed to destroy the Moonchild every 105 years. That is Rose. Rose actually is... Did they ever really prove how old she was?
That's pretty
No.
funny.
Like,
No.
she's
But
almost
she
1,000
was a
years...
part of the original Dragon War.
Yeah. So you go on, and then the first is, like you said, it's a civil war, and your best friend who helps you help him out through all of his stuff.
You meet on the battlefield
Field.
and you instantly bond.
No, you save his ass from Helena prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
You meet him there, and y'all are inseparable friends.
It's like, let's go rescue your girl, man.
Yeah, like legit. Like, and I will agree, Levitz is the better character.
So good, man.
But
And then they take him away from you.
not only do they take him away from you, they give you a zombie version later on in Disc 4 that you have to fight and then watch him die again while he's disappearing, telling you that he misses y'all. Stop, Aaron.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop.
21 years later, and it still hurts.
Yes, it really does hurt. That this game never got a prequel, never got a sequel. I don't know how many petitions have
It
been.
didn't even get an anime adaptation. Like, we didn't get nothing.
No, but it does have a VHS of the opening movie,
Ooh.
The
old
war?
technology.
and it was a VHS, and they have their own figures. So this was and the figures are not cheap now. I got lucky when we found that Lloyd
Yeah.
at the Toy Con.
Yeah.
And he was opened, which if he wouldn't have been opened in actual thing, he was going to be a lot more. Congo goes for almost $200.
Mm.
The character development, every single character, the love triangle. I mean, there is a love triangle. I don't care what they say because Rose has the hots for Dart until she finds out
I
Oh.
always thought she was more into Congo.
Congo would destroy her.
She might like
Yeah, she might.
it. Rose is a dirty girl.
Yeah, she is. My dirty girl. I like me some Rose, though. Let me tell you. That
Whiplash.
that pale with the black, and the
Yeah.
black hair, the goth girl. Oh yeah.
Yep.
It looked great for the time, even though it was very pixely because it's the PlayStation 1. But
Right.
it looked great. And there is still, you can go on to Facebook, and there is a group that is very live and well that wants to see
Pushing
this.
for this game to make a return.
Yes, pushing. And we keep getting rumors of it. There's people who own studios that are like, oh yeah, we'll do it. And then it goes away. Just the same thing with Republic Commando. It just...
I know the
little
rumors
hits.
were pretty big in 2019 because it was the 20-year anniversary.
Yep,
So-
and they were this one studio was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a PlayStation remake. Yeah, it's an older game. We're
There's
going
a
to
bunch
do
of
it."
third-party companies that love to do that stuff, but
Yeah,
the
but they
second
won't
they
touch
put,
it.
but the second they put time into it, they know that Sony or whoever owns the rights to it's going to be like, no, kick it.
And see that I feel like is the problem because Sony owns the right and made this game, and it was up there in sales figures with Final Fantasy at the time. That's how good this anime.
I know.
is.
I know for top RPGs on the PlayStation 1. I know Final Fantasy 7 garners a lot of attention, but
Right.
let me tell you, Legend of Dragoon, if it is not tied with it, it is not behind it by much.
No, and I totally agree.
And with that very long-winded but very informative discussion, that concludes our game segment because it is running on pretty long. And with that, I am Don Juan, this saddened and probably very, mad on the inside.
We don't get to
Mr.
talk about
Spock.
Labbits anymore?
No, you don't! That's enough!
I had so much more.
And with Aaron, Legend, and Vol, just comment, like, subscribe. I hope this was easier to digest for the viewer, and with that, we are out.